All right, Cancer, welcome to your weekly horoscope for May of 2015. My name is Athen. So let's go ahead and look at your transit chart this month. We've got the first aspect. We've got on the 3rd, we've got this full moon in your 4th house, the Cancerian house. Fantastic location for a full moon too, because the moon is in a very strong directional strength down here at the 4th house. Loves to be there. And the moon, let's see, is in a neutral sign of Libra, but it's right on the cusp, actually. What's interesting about this full moon is that it's happening right on the cusp between Libra and Virgo. So it's this sort of mix between, the balance of home, family, your past, your roots, your sentiments, and also the growth and improvement of these areas as well. Because the full moon here is essentially the energies over the past 6 months coming to a culmination here in your 4th house. You had a new moon there 6 months ago, and now a culmination. So if any of you have been involved with anything relating to family or home or your past, can be a culmination point now in terms of that, a high point in regards to those areas over the past 6 months. But it's also relating to the new moon that you have in your 10th, which is the house of career and public related things. 2 weeks ago. This is the full moon of that energy from 2 weeks ago. So it can be a high time and a culmination of a lot of those things. And you still have the sun there for a good chunk of the month. You still have Mars there for about the first 10 days of the month. So for the first, I would say the first 10 days, keep moving forward with your goals relating to work and career and public related things. And around the 3rd, it can be a high point for that. I mean, it's still going to be for the next 2 weeks until the sun shifts. In this whole lunar cycle, it's still very much about the career and public related things, but this can be a high time around the 3rd, so reflect on that, put the energy into it, because the energy will be high around the full moon. And yeah, an important time for you there at the beginning of the month here. Now the next important aspect is on the 6th, well, event rather. We've got Venus going into your 12th house. Okay, so this is now the opportunity to enjoy rest and relaxation and everything relating to spirit and letting go and flowing and connecting to God or the universe or source, however you see that. And if you do that, you'll find that very enjoyable, very sensual. And that's also relating to your relationships too, because Venus ruling relationships, it's about having that simple enjoyment in relationships, like where you can have sort of silence and that be okay, and like enjoy the silence, that kind of thing, and trust and let go. Same with finances too, letting go, very important, but very enjoyable when you do as well. So I really recommend those things relating to that 12th house. But the house that's really being activated is your 11th house this month. We're going to have the new moon here in your 11th. We have Mars shifting in here on the 10th, which is the next event. Mars will be in your 10th on the 11th. So around this time, 10th, 11th, you're going to be feeling a lot of this energy in your 11th house, which is about the groups, the network circles, friends, your ideals, the satisfaction you get from your work, giving and contributing to things larger than self. You've already been thinking about that with Mercury transiting here. And now with Mars entering there on the 11th, this is very energetic. So I think you'll be very motivated by these things, and you'll have a good energy available for you when you move towards those things. Because Mars, first of all, really loves to be at the top of the chart. Same with the sun. So things are probably going quite well in regards to these things, especially like the work and stuff, because the sun here is exalted. Mars was exalted. He's going into a neutral sign here around the 10th, but still, the top of the chart, lots of the strong energy of these placements relating to your 10th house. So that's very nice. And so still with, again, satisfaction through work groups and networking, you have that very strong motivation, so utilize it. It's there. I think you'll be motivated by it anyways, but it's about getting that energy moving and taking action there. And so that's going to be very significant from the 10th onward and into June as well also. All right, so then the next event we have on the 17th, we've got the new moon taking place here in that right on the cusp between your 10th house and your 11th house. You already had that new moon in your 10th, so it's almost like take two in many ways of the career stuff or the public stuff, but also relating to, again, the 11th house. So maybe it's the network circles through the work or the network circles through the public arena or friends or making contacts or enjoying your work, having freedom in your work, stepping into your ideals in your work. All of these things you really want to reflect on around the 17th during that new moon, because there's new things shaping up for you here, both in the 10th house again and relating to the 11th house matters also. You can see here. So very exciting, very compatible, strong emphasis here with the Sun and Mars in very nice locations of the chart. Now, the next event is that Mercury is going to go retrograde here on the 18th and 19th. Whoops, went back too far. On the 18th and 19th in that 11th house of yours. So what that means is there's something being reflected on. There's something that needs to be reworked in regards to these 11th house matters. And so with a Mercury retrograde for the next 3 weeks, I really recommend taking this time to reflect. Take this time to really think about this part of your life, friends, network circles, satisfaction through your work, things like this. And then in that way, you'll be utilizing what the Mercury retrograde is meant to be. It's meant to be a time of redoing, reworking, hashing out the details of, and learning more about this part of your life. So it's important for you. I really recommend it 18th, 19th, and onward. Spend time with friends. Maybe step into some, of your ideals and your visions. Actively pursue some of those things with Mars there. See how you can give and contribute to things larger than self, maybe relating to your work, but just in general. Maybe do some community-related things. Give back in that way, you see. All of that stuff you want to definitely reflect on with that Mercury retrograde. Then on the 20th, we've got that Sun then entering into that 11th house. And so when that happens, there's a lot of passion and a lot of enthusiasm that can be transmitted through the 11th house, you see. So this is where the new moon is going to be really emphasized here once the Sun goes in there on the 20th. So passion, zest, really getting that energy moving creatively, maybe working creatively within groups, expressing yourself within groups and network circles. All these things will certainly be supporting you. And then on the 27th, Mercury goes over Mars. And the last time Mercury went over Mars, conjunct like this, was in your 10th house last month. So last month, there was a lot of that emphasis on the public and 10th house related, public and career related things. And so now with this Mercury, it's the same thing except relating to the network circles or groups or enjoyment and contribution. So it could also be finances through your work too. That can be a very strong highlight because the 11th house is second from the 10th, which often does signify the income you derive from your work as well. So whatever that is for you personally, but very, very motivating. Okay, Mercury going over Mars helps you understand more about what you're motivated by in this area and how to take action. You're learning more about that, you see. So it's all part of this reflection process. Then on the 30th, Mercury goes over the Sun, but in front of the Sun because he's retrograde. So this is where your mind is still sharp. You're still thinking very practically and very realistically, I think, about the 11th house matters, but then finding a way to bring in that passion and joy in the 11th house. That's why it's really good for you to spend time with friends and things, because it can be very enjoyable for you. Maybe doing things, with connections, something spiritual or something behind the scenes with Venus in that 12th, you see. So all in all, Cancer, lots of this emphasis on your 11th house of groups, friends, and all these things. Very motivating. Lots of enjoyment, energy, reflecting on it with that Mercury retrograde. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you'd like me to look at your personal chart, please get in touch. You can check the website down below for that. If you're new to Sidereal Astrology, which is different from regular astrology, do check the link down below as well. And weeklies. The weekly horoscopes are much more specific. This was a very general look at the month, so if you want a specific week-by-week look, do check out my weeklies as well. All right, Cancer, have a good time. Let me know if you have any questions. Take care.